So my friends, Red Dead Redemption 2 is right around the corner, and I'm sure many of you, just like me, cannot wait to get your hands on it. Now with hope, it should only be a few months away, but let's be honest, we all know Rockstar loves to delay their games, and honestly that's not necessarily a bad thing. Delays can be very good for games, especially games on the caliber of GTA and Red Dead Redemption. You know, Rockstar wants to produce and put out the best product possible, so delays can be healthy, so I am saying, you know, do expect delays with this game. You know, we saw multiple delays with GTA 5, so it won't be surprising if we see more with Red Dead Redemption 2. So, with the possibility of multiple delays on the horizon, I have come up with a list of 5 Western games that can sate your appetite until Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, honestly, it is slim pickings out there for decent Western games, but I have managed to whittle the list down to 5 of the best picks out there. So my friends, let's just jump into this. So the first game is going to be where the Red Dead series first started. I am of course talking about Red Dead Revolver. Now many people out there think Red Dead Redemption is the first Red Dead game, especially with the next game being called Red Dead Redemption 2, but Red Dead Redemption is in fact the successor of the 2004 Western action-adventure game Red Dead Revolver. Red Dead Revolver was released for PS2 and was also released on the original Xbox, but if you still want to play this game again, don't worry, you don't have to dust off your old consoles. Red Dead Revolver has been re-released on the PS4 for the price of 15 squids. So now you have the ability to play this Western classic that started the Red Dead series from the comfort of your modern consoles. Now, compared to Red Dead Redemption, this game does have quite dated graphics and can feel clunky at times, but these are just the way the mechanics feel from a game that came out in 2004. Honestly, it does still hold up quite well today, and you can definitely see some of the inspiration and mechanics that were lifted from Red Dead Revolver and, you know, adapted and changed and developed for Red Dead Redemption. So I definitely recommend getting your hands on this, playing it some way, and you can experience where Red Dead Redemption first started. So next up on this list is a game I'm sure you've all heard of. It is Gun. Now Gun is a short but very, very sweet Wild West experience. Now the game takes you on an adventure for about 4 to 6 hours if you only play the story, but there are a whole bunch of side quests to keep you entertained for much longer. It took me about 4 hours to finish the storyline, and I was negating pretty much every side mission. I was only focused on the story. Now Gun is quite a charming game, which is a familiar trait with all these Western games from 2004 to the 2006 period. It has some great open world mechanics for a game that was released in 2005. You know, Gun is held up by a lot of people out there as one of the better Western games out there, so it has to make any Western game list. When you talk about Wild West games, Gun is always in the conversation somewhere. I don't know this for sure, but it does seem like Rockstar may have borrowed some ideas from Gun while making Red Dead Redemption, you know, already building upon the foundations that they developed with Red Dead Revolver, taking some of the good stuff from Gun, adding it, mixing it with the Red Dead Revolver stuff, and then making Red Dead Redemption. You know, and if they did do this, I honestly can't blame them for it. Before Red Dead Redemption, Gun was pretty much the gold standard for a Wild West action-adventure shooter. And the great thing about Gun is you can pick it up on Steam, honestly, for just dirt cheap during any of their seasonal sales. Most times you won't have to spend more than $3 for this game while it's on sale. And if you don't want to play on PC, I'm sure you can pick up a pre-owned copy for the 360. You know, if you wish to play it on the 360. No matter how you play it though, it is definitely a game to sink your teeth into while waiting for Red Dead Redemption 2. Okay, so next up on this list is my personal favourite Western game series after the Red Dead series. I am sure some of you out there have been waiting for me to mention this. I am of course talking about the Call of Juarez series. Bar the cartel, we never talk about the cartel. I mean, I could make a whole video on this series alone. You know, Call of Juarez was my first experience into the Western genre of gaming. It is actually one of my earliest gaming memories. It was around 2006, and I believe I was in Game Station, an old game shop that existed here in the UK, and I was with my father and my older brother. My brother had just got his hands on a brand spanking new Xbox 360, and I was allowed to choose one game. It's fun. This is the funny thing, because I remember the game I was choosing was between Call of Juarez and Gun, but I was only allowed to pick one, so I picked Call of Juarez because I thought the dude on the cover looked cooler, so I decided to pick Call of Juarez over Gun, and many years later I played Gun. So yeah, this is the series that started my love for Western games and Western media as a whole, to be honest. There are currently 3 great games out there in the series, but there is one sour grape. That is Call of Juarez the Cartel. Honestly, Cartel is far more than just a sour grape. It is a grape that has been put in a jar, filled to the brim with cat piss and left to ferment in the darkest reaches of the world. But surprisingly, it hasn't ruined the rest of the bunch, so just avoid the Cartel and you'll be fine. Yeah, actually that's pretty good advice to keep you with life in general, just avoid the cartel. In the series there are a couple of open world levels here and there, but for the most part it's quite a linear experience, relying on solid first person shooter mechanics and a somewhat decent storyline to go with it. You know, the series has a great soundtrack and it's just overall a fun, enjoyable experience. You know, if you've been seeing the series out there and you've been lingering on the edge about it, you know, I just say jump in. It will definitely keep you going, you know, until Red Dead Redemption 2, that's definitely for sure. 3 decent games out there, made by the people who made Dying Light, and you can pick up pretty much all the games in the series for dirt cheap nowadays, so I say go for it. Okay, so the next game on this list is just going to be a short and simple one. The next game is Fistful of Frags. Now, I wanted to include at least one game with a strong multiplayer experience, and I also wanted to include a free-to-play game, you know, just in case anyone out there is saving every last penny for Red Dead Redemption 2, but still wanted to play, you know, something to sate their appetite until Red Dead Redemption 2. So Fistful of Frags is a free-to-play Western arena shooter. It's pretty standard multiplayer deathmatch, and actually the game started off as a Half-Life mod, so think of the game as kind of like Counter-Strike with hats, horses, and howdy partners. Now, the game is not quite as active as it once was, but you shouldn't be too hard-pressed to find a game or two here and there. If you have friends, then you can set up your own matches with your own rules. Fistful of Frags also has Steam Workshop support, so in case anyone out there wants to change all the death sounds with the oof from Roblox, then, you know, this is the Western experience for you, essentially. Okay, and last, but certainly not least, if you just cannot wait for Red Dead Redemption 2, why not just play some more Red Dead Redemption 1? You know, or Undead Nightmare. You know, start a new save, saddle up, and just go guns a-blazing in your favourite Western experience. If none of the other games out there can sate your appetite or fill the void that is Red Dead Redemption 2, just go back, play some more Red Dead Redemption 1. You know, what is there more to say about this masterpiece of a game? You know, held up by most as the best Western experience out there. It is hard to find someone who doesn't absolutely love this game. And if you haven't played the Undead Nightmare yet, the kind of companion solo expansion for Red Dead Redemption, I recommend you go remedy that right now. Saddle up, partner, kill some zombies. So yeah, you can't really go wrong with playing Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. So yeah, my friends, these are my top picks, my 5 games that I've selected that will hopefully sate your appetite for Red Dead Redemption 2. My friends, if you like this video, feel free to leave a like, and if you do want to see more, consider subscribing. If you want to interact with me outside of YouTube, feel free to follow me on Twitter, links are in the description. Partners, I will see you in the next video. I'm going to go off into the sunset now. Goodbye for now.